Hello everyone, and welcome to another Guild Wars 2 video. Today we're going to focus on the living story that sort of occurred during the Dragon Bash festival. Now, this is basically a prelude to the next living story known as the Pirates of Tyria, but it still needs to be mentioned and, talked over. To start with, some of you might be wondering, what is Dragon Bash? In Guild Wars 1 there was an old festival known as the Dragon Festival. Well, in Guild Wars 2, partly because ArenaNet didn't like Cantha for a while, and also because it seemed a little inconsiderate to celebrate dragons during, the dragons trying to kill the world, Ship Council of Lion's Arch decided to remake it into Dragon Bash, which just involves bashing a bunch of dragon piñatas and bashing a bunch of holographic minions and bashing whatever else you want to bash that has a dragon on it. I'm not going to go too much into the festival's rewards and skins. It's just like the other festivals that have come. They have their own specific things that have come up. However, there is the story that I mentioned earlier that started now. So the story elements that happened in this started with an effigy lighting ceremony. Now at this lighting ceremony, 4 members of the ship council are up on the stage. They're talking, introducing the festival, yada yada yada. They also have representatives from several races that have been negatively affected by the dragons. These representatives are told to put their offerings or their memorial things onto the effigies. Once all of these are on the effigies, the Char representative steps up and lights the effigies on fire. However, when the left one is lit, electricity arcs out, hitting 3 of the ship's council members and the Char representative. You're then told to escort those 3 wounded ship council members to Fort Mariner so they'd be safe from while these pirates, the Aether Blades as they're known, are attacking. The aftermath of this attack is that the Char representative is dead, and one of the ship's council members also succumbs to the wounds from it and dies. You then receive a letter from a mysterious person just known as E. E sends you to Divinity's Reach to find Marjorie Delacroix, who is a private investigator. Marjorie is located in the Dead End Bar, which is in a back alley in the Eastern Commons of Divinity's Reach. Once you enter the Dead End Bar, a nice film noir cutscene plays, which I'm going to go ahead and let play right now.
Could have been just another dreary night in the same old smoky bar, with that siren song lulling drunks and lonely hearts deeper into their sorrows. It could have been, but then he walked in. Logan Thackeray, the man with all the answers. Well, some of the answers, some of the time.
Marjorie Delacroix?
If it suits you.
It suits me just fine. I want to hire you. There's been a murder. Lion's Arch Counselor Theo Ashford is dead, and I want to know who's responsible.
Sounds like a job for the Lion Guard. What's got you peaked?
Between you and me, Ashford's an old friend of the family. I want to make sure they find his killer.
I see. And you don't trust the Lion Guard?
Let's just say I'm hedging my bets. The pay's good. You in?
How can I say no to Captain Lowe?
No names. I was never here.
Maybe not, but your money is. I'm in.
Lady Casimir, what are you doing in a place like this?
So there it is. It's a really cool cutscene, but if you notice, look who shows back up. Casimir. I still don't trust Casimir, and Casimir's showing up too much. I'm not going to go too much into conspiracy theory stuff, but watch her. That's all I have to say on that. Once talking to Marjorie, you see that she's planning on going back to the scene of the crime, and she accepts any help that you would be able to offer to her as well. Once back at the crime, she uses a modified, it's called a Tassie box. It's basically a modified candy matter magic meter from the Mad King event. She uses this Tassie box to cue in on magical dust left behind, basically. And it's going to be the dust that caused this reaction that caused the electricity arcs. Now the Tassie box hits on the Char representative and Mytrin, who is the person who went to supposedly help heal the Char representative and discovered he was dead. However, 5 of the other race's representatives are missing after the crime. So then you were assigned with, of course, tracking down the 5 missing representatives. Long story short, they all tell you they were threatened to do something, and they agree that they'll return to the scene. So once the missing representatives are back, you use the Tassie box on all of them, which also makes all of them glow. The Tassie box is used on Mytrin again, and the conclusion is drawn that it was Mytrin who caused the murder at Lion's Arch. She comes out and says that she did it as a plan to kill off one of the ship's council members and then take his place on the council. But, since you have ruined her plan, her second plan is to punish all of you for ruining her plan. Mytrin then disappears, a few Aetherblade appear again, what she calls her clockwork crew, and you kill them, and Investigator Keel basically says when she finds out where Mytrin is, then she'll call you up. This, of course, leads into the next living story, which will be coming up, which is the Rise of the Sky Pirates. That pretty much wraps up all of the story that happened during the Dragon Bash Festival. However, before we go, I think everyone has a little bit to celebrate on this. If you notice, there are several characters of Canthan descent that show up throughout this. If you notice, both Mytrin and Marjorie Delacroix are both of obvious Canthan descent. And Casimir, from what people are saying, I don't know this personally. The armor she's wearing looks like Lonin. Now, could this be a coincidence? Maybe, but considering that ArenaNet's mostly buried everything Canthan before this, and there's two obvious Canthan characters and a Canthan member on the ship's council, it kind of points at maybe that they're bringing back Cantha. I mean, that's maybe wishful thinking, and I did not play Guild Wars 1, so I'm not an expert on everything Canthan or Alonin, but that's the information we have, and those people obviously do look of Canthan descent. But that wraps this up for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope if you missed this will help you, catch up on the living story as well. If you missed any other part of the living story, I should have a video summarizing it up on my channel somewhere. And thank you all for watching. See you guys next time.